The Outer Worlds 2. Whoo! We're talking about it today, man. You guys know I'm a huge fan of The Outer Worlds. Kind of a fanboy of Obsidian and in general. And Xbox and Microsoft have made a really good call. And I got to give flowers, man. This needed to be done. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was unsure, and I kind of had no hope that it could be done. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here. Coming at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about The Outer Worlds 2. Obsidian. Black Rock Entertainment's what a lot of people like to call them, including myself. This company is responsible for making some of the funnest games I've ever played. You know, back to South Park, Fallout New Vegas, The Outer Worlds. I even liked Avowed. Had a lot of issues with some aspects of Avowed, but I even liked that game. There's so many aspects to this game that I thoroughly enjoyed. And I'm going to be real with you. You know, maybe this is a hot take. But when they announced this year at the Direct, you could see my reaction if you go look on it on the internet. I lost my marbles when they came out there and they said that this game was coming out this year, to the point where even though I was excited for Avowed, I looked at that thing and I'm like, I'm going to be real with you. Obsidian's my favorite franchise is up. Even though I was excited for Avowed, my anticipation for The Outer Worlds 2 just eclipsed Avowed. Now, a couple weeks ago, we had a reveal from them. You know, and it was a nice reveal. I think they actually did a really good job showcasing what we were going to be playing with The Outer Worlds 2 and how were we going to be playing it. And one thing people noticed real fast is they were going to have a $79.99. Now, look, Nintendo already did this. They came out there with that Mario Kart being an $80 title. And I think Microsoft realized real quick, I don't know if it was the Steam sales or pre-orders in general, that maybe those weren't as high as they were. Maybe it was the amount of criticism they were getting, because they were getting a lot of criticism. Now, look, I will be the first to say, even though I really enjoy The Outer Worlds, going into The Outer Worlds 2, that is not an $80 game. Hell, Mario Kart's not an $80 game. But guess what? Microsoft and Xbox, and I'm sure you learned, you don't have the type of power that Nintendo does when it comes to releasing a game. And they got a lot of criticism and hate for releasing that game as an $80 title. But Mario Kart is so well known, and it was at the start of a launch too. So we have to keep that in mind. It was in the start of a launch where they were able to get away with it to a degree. Now, obviously, you can make the argument that, you know, they didn't get away with it. They got probably, hit their sales a little bit. I would argue that the people that wanted it were going to bite regardless. It was so to the point that Mario Kart was desired that I was at my GameStop reserving the Switch 2 because, I do have one. It's right here. Reserving the Switch 2, that people were getting the base Switch 2, not the bundle, the base Switch 2, just so they would have the ability to buy Mario Kart physical, which is wild because you have to pay an extra $30 to get it physical. So that's the type of, first off, fan base and audience that Nintendo has, and on second off, that's how strong Mario Kart is. And I don't agree with that being a $70, an $80 title. They really only had one game, Zelda, one game that was $70. I don't remember one other game that was $80. I mean $70 on Nintendo. I mean, maybe you guys can put in the comment section below. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe there's a couple there I didn't see. But my thing is, you have one game, maybe two or three, maybe you have one game and you jump out the window for $80. I don't think another company would ever try something like that. Imagine going out there and say, okay, we're going to have a game be $69.99. We're increasing by 10. And then a couple years later, okay, we had one game that was $79.99. Now we're releasing another game to be $69.99. Now we're releasing another game to be $79.99. I don't think I could have expected another game like that. So we saw The Outer Worlds 2 get an $80 price tag, and I was very vocal that I didn't think that was a good idea. I personally feel like The Outer Worlds 2 is still a growing franchise, Spacer's Choice. And I don't think that it was wise for Microsoft to be one of the brute forces going out the gate with a title like The Outer Worlds 2. Now, obviously, they're probably going to do it with Call of Duty. I feel like that title can take the hit a little bit more, well, a lot more, compared to something like The Outer Worlds 2. I mean, maybe you guys can disagree or agree in the comment section below. In my personal opinion, you try that, you do that with something that can take the hit, like a Call of Duty or a GTA 6. Don't send The Outer Worlds 2 out there to walk the plank. And a lot of people were just like, look, this is how it is. This is gaming. This is the cost and price of games have went up, which I agree to a point, but there's a lot of aspects to it that I don't think people really consider. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it 100. I did not expect them to turn this and reverse this. I'm going to keep it honest. I didn't expect it. I thought that they were going to value the extra $10 they would make off all the sales that they did on PlayStation, Steam, and the sales that they did get on Xbox, that they wouldn't care about the sales that they lose because of it. Even though I think it's a mistake, because I don't think The Outer Worlds 2 is the type of title that can survive something like this. I think, it's like I said, there's so many more aspects that you put, so many more games that could survive something like this. So I woke up this morning and I saw this. And look, it's like I said, man, Microsoft and Xbox made the right call on here. And I'm always going to give flowers where flowers is due. And this is flowers. They deserve the flowers from here. And what I love is they let the Outer Worlds announce it. They let them announce it in a way that makes sense to them. I'm really feeling that. So we had this right here. Dear Galactic citizens, we have received your SOS via Skip Drone about the pricing. As an organization devoted to making sure that corporations do not go unfiltered, we at the Earth Dictator have worked with Redacted to revise the price of the Outer Worlds 2. While this will not bring peace to the galaxy or even your local colony, we can assure you that we are here to fight for all your colonies in every way we can. From the office of the Director of Earth Dictating. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, besides my horrible reading, this is great. And what I like about the most when it comes to this is they let Obsidian crack the news in a way that makes sense to them. That's what I like the most, because they could have easily, Xbox could have done an Xbox Wire. There could have been 1,000 ways that they did this. And instead of doing that, they're like, look, let's let Obsidian announce it. Let's let Obsidian announce it on their own personal Twitter. Let's let it make sense to their lore. They're kind of setting place on, like, doing it in like a game lore, like in a joking way. Look, this isn't gonna make everyone feel better. But I will say is we have power as an entity together. And I saw a lot of people that was upset over this. It was definitely more than I thought, because this happened. This is a big deal. I don't know if people can realize this doesn't happen often, that the consumer gets a double. Let's read some of this. For the first time ever, Spacer's Choice is the best choice. That's funny. No offense, but no games are worth $80, especially when they're coming half-baked, poor performance, missing content, and filled with microtransactions. You know what, BT Maverick? You shouldn't have said no offense, because I think you spot on there, my dude. Stepped in the right direction. Now make it $59.99. Now, look, man, as much as I would love for that to happen, that ain't happening. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe if we don't pre-order this time, it'll happen this. I don't know, man. Gigantic W. The market just isn't ready for $80 games, and this was a wrong game to price that high. Once again, it's like I said, there are games that could get away with that. Unfortunately, this isn't one of them. Don't try to be one of them. AKA, we tried at 80, but pre-orders are low, so we're going to go to 70 and say we listen to you. Completely agree. This is a huge W. It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's Choice. I love this. I love this sentiment, because what I like about this is just like people are using the in-game lore to talk about it. I love that. Not me thinking that this was pops from a regular show. I hope you lower the price on Steam too. If possible, please provide regional pricing too. I think regional pricing is just when you price depending on like the economy of the region. I don't know. People put in the comment section below. I'm not quite sure what the things go into that. Reminder of the law of supply and demand. Much. See how that's supposed to work? We bully these companies to lower their prices and just bend over and take it like these Nintendo fanboys with Mario Kart. Look, there ain't nothing you could do because Mario Kart is the type of game that could survive something like that. Look, the point of the matter is we are able to take a W here. Microsoft and Xbox realized the error of their ways and they corrected themselves. And that doesn't mean we're going to get W's all the time, but we getting a W today. And I think this is great. I think this is the best thing going into this game. I think the Outer Worlds 2 needed this W more than anyone. The Outer Worlds and Obsidian won more than anyone did because now their game has more of a fighting chance to be successful in this market this holiday. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm very curious your guys' opinion on this. Look, like I said, man, I'm thrilled that this happened. But I'm curious what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. We make weekly content on here. And once again, I want to appreciate everyone for coming through here. Follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. You can also follow my gaming channel, Addict Arena. Currently playing the Wind Waker, the 3-heart rule, where I only can have 3 hearts the whole game. But anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a great day. I'm out of here. Peace. Whoo! Love talking positivity. People act like I don't want to, but I want to. It's just there's so much damn negative in this damn industry.